So good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Thursday night travel talk. And tonight we're going to be featuring Asia and the Mekong with Scenic Cruises. For those of you who have not been in a Zoom meeting before, and I don't think that's anybody because we've been doing this for about 14 months, everybody is muted. There is a chat feature, and we will be taking questions at the end of the presentation. If you'd like to put a question in the chat feature, you can have your camera on or off. We'd love to see your faces. I feel very secluded nowadays that we're locked down, don't get to see anybody, so it would be nice if we can see some faces. So my name is Lisa Amflick. I'm one of the consultants at Expedia Cruises, and tonight and every Thursday, Travel Talk is being hosted by the 6 Edmonton and area stores. And we started these travel talks to inspire you, to keep you motivated, to let you know what's happening in the industry. And I think I want to start tonight just by talking about the elephant in the room. And for those of you who are in Alberta, and I think that's most of us, we have been locked down. And please know that we are not promoting travel. We are asking people or agreeing with everybody to stay home. Our offices right now, we're working remotely so that we can hopefully get things back to normal and get this for a third wave stopped. But we also are thinking about, I don't know about the rest of you, but I need something to look forward to. And there was an interesting study that I read recently that says planning something gives you almost as much pleasure as actually doing it. So we are encouraging you to think about travel because travel will begin again. So there's a difference between traveling and planning travel, and that's why we're doing these travel talks. I want you to be able to think about 2022 and 2023 as a safe time to travel. Our professional consultants are here to help you. As things change day by day, there are new complexities with travel. So we are here to help you with all of those complexities and being able to plan your travel and do your travel safely. So on that note, we are bringing you our preferred suppliers each week to educate you and to teach you and to give you something to look forward to. So tonight we have Jared Gelfand, who is joining us from his home in Toronto, and he is going to let us know all about Scenic Tours and Cruises and Asia and the Mekong. So welcome, Jared.
Thank you so much, and appreciate it. So for having me on tonight and so many people. Let me just pull up my screen here. So here we go. Perfect. Yeah, no, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you taking the time this evening. We're in a tough situation as a country, but I think there's a lot of things to get excited about. So today we'd like to showcase 2022 Mekong River and some exciting programs to look forward to in the future. So as Lisa mentioned, my name is Jared. I've been in the travel industry now for 8 years, and I've been privileged to visit 50 different countries and 5 different continents. And I was just about to check off my 6th before COVID hit. So looking very forward to getting back to sailing. But today we've got a very exciting presentation for you. I'd like to also give a shout out to the good folks over at Expedia. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for everything that you do being on the front lines in the pandemic here. It's not been easy, so thank you for all your efforts. And one thing that we've had going on the past month is our exclusive Legendary Rivers promotion with Expedia. So I'm going to highlight the offers and everything today. And actually, let me show you the agenda here. So for those of you who don't know Scenic, I think it's really important that you understand who we are as a company. So I'd like to give you an introduction and give you a little bit of a history on who we are. I'll highlight some of our signature inclusions to show you what differentiates Scenic from all our competitors. There's a lot of great cruise companies out there, river cruise companies, but it's important to understand the differences. So I'm going to show you some of the inclusions that we offer. We'll go through the onboard experience, showcase the Scenic Spirit, beautiful ship, and I'll highlight some of our popular Mekong itineraries. We'll go into one a little more in depth, and then wrap up with some special offers as well. So all in all, folks, we should be about 25, 30 minutes this evening. And as Lisa mentioned, if there's questions, feel free to shoot them into the chat box, and I can address them at the end of the presentation. Now, before we get into the heart of everything here, I do want to make a little shout out and Expedia, Lisa mentioned this too, sort of the elephant in the room, but our commitment to health and safety. So folks, rest assured that we are working endlessly tirelessly to make sure that everything is going to be smooth once we resume sailing. So there are going to be lots of new health and safety protocols that are implemented once we start sailing again. I could spend a good 30, 40 minutes just on this one slide over here, but that's not the purpose of our presentation tonight. So folks, if you want to go more in depth on health and safety, please contact your travel advisor with Expedia and they could go into a little bit more in depth with you. The thing is, this is not written in stone. It's not concrete. It's constantly evolving and changing every single day. So once we resume sailing, we'll send out a little bit more of a concrete notice for everybody. But just rest assured, we are working very closely with Cruise Lines International Association, international government authorities, and we're really striving to make sure that health and safety protocols are met and exceeded, not only for our guests, but for our staff and special guests who join us on board as well too. So this is very important. If you want to learn more, please reach out to Expedia or we could have another conversation offline. But let's get into the background of Scenic. Like I mentioned, it's important that you understand who you're traveling with. So Scenic started off over 30 years ago in Australia as a motor coach tour company, and we eventually graduated into river cruising. And today we have 500 cruises that touch on all 7 continents, and we've even gotten recently into the ocean space, the Scenic Eclipse, the world's first discovery yacht. So perhaps maybe we'll do another session on that later. But folks, today we live in a very technologically savvy world, and I encourage you to do your due diligence. If you've never sailed with us before, please go do your research. Use Cruise Critic, use Luxury Travel Magazine. There's so many different tools and resources out there. And the reason I bring that up is because it gives you a comparison of all the companies, and you'll also see that year after year, Scenic is constantly awarded with travel industry awards for great cruise lines, all-inclusivity. So just do your research if you haven't sailed or heard of us before. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention is just we're a privately owned company. We have multiple ships that are currently under construction as well too. So we'll be launching some new ships in 2022, 2023. So there's a lot to look forward to when it comes to sailing on Scenic and the Scenic group. But one thing that Scenic offers that is unique is that we do have the all-inclusive experience. Now, that term gets thrown around loosely today. Some people think just having beer and wine included with your lunch and dinner means all-inclusive, but that's not the case. It really comes down to everything. So are your transfers included from the airport to the ship? Are your port charges included? Are your taxes included? Are your gratuities included? So these are just a few of the questions you need to ask when you're looking at an all-inclusive cruise line. So with us, we really like to say, you don't need to open up your wallet when you're traveling with us because everything is already included. In fact, actually, there's one thing that's not, but don't worry, I'm going to point that out for you once we get there, and you'll see it's a small little thing, but everything else is included. So these are just a few important questions you might want to ask yourself before choosing a cruise company. And some of the special inclusions that we offer, here are a few points that you can see on the screen that I'm going to talk about. I will show you on board the Scenic Spirit. We'll go through the suites. We'll talk about the butler and the dining experience and having all your excursions included as well too, multiple excursions that you can pick from. So free choice, tailor-made. So let's get into some of this stuff right now. Now, if you're like me, you enjoy traveling for a multitude of reasons, but one of my main reasons I love to travel is to experience the cuisine. I love to eat when I travel, and I think a lot of you like to do that as well too. So one of those questions that you have to ask yourself, does your cruise ship, does your river cruise ship offer multiple dining venues? And that's something that we do offer. So we've got the Crystal Dining Room, we have another dining venue, in-room dining as well. We've got expert chefs that have been trained over in Europe, so they're going to create some great Asian fusion for us, but there's also some familiar favorites as well. That's one thing I love is you get a little bit of everything, but I encourage you to indulge in the local cuisine because that's really what traveling is all about. So multiple dining venues. Like I mentioned, if you don't want to have a night out, you could do something inside your suite. So call your butler, have room service come in. If you want a romantic evening just for you and your spouse looking out at the Mekong, have room service brought to your suite. Another thing that we include, like I mentioned before, it's not just beer and wine, it's premium liquor, premium drinks as well too. So you can get your top end gins and vodkas and rums and scotches. We also have liqueurs like Grand Marnier and Drambuie and Bailey's. So lots of premium drinks. It's not just limited to the beer and wine. We also have at the bar, there's specialty cocktails that are made every single day, cocktails and mocktails. So if you're looking for your some unique flavors by our mixologists over at the bar, absolutely something you can indulge in. Or if you're looking for something a little more classic, like a gin and tonic or a screwdriver, or maybe just a scotch neat like the tray over here. So whether you go to the bar, you can order drinks from the bar with your butler to bring it to your suite. All suites do come equipped with a mini bar that's complimentary as well too, and it has everything in there that's replenished every single day. So again, that all-inclusivity factor reaches the beverages too. So you heard me mention a couple of times about butlers. Well, yes, all of our suites do have a butler, and the butlers are really here to enhance the experience. They're incredible people, and they're here to make sure that your needs and wants are far exceeded. So once you come onto our ship, you'll be greeted by our butler. They'll bring you into their suite. They can give you an orientation of the ship. We can unpack your suitcase. They can bring you drinks and food, like I mentioned, can shine your shoes. They can set up offshore excursions. So again, they're really here to enhance your experience. And you're going to become best friends with them, really. They're part of the family by the end of the cruise. Another thing that you could ask your butler to do for you is laundry. So everybody on a Scenic cruise will have your laundry done at least one time complimentary. If you're staying in some of the higher end suites, you might be able to have it done a couple of more times, but at least once you'll be able to have laundry done on a Scenic cruise. So please just have that arranged with your butler if you'd like. Now, when it comes to the onboard entertainment, there's quite a wide variety of different experiences that we have. One thing I constantly hear is, well, you know, I love going on an ocean cruise because there's a casino and a theater and there's always so much activity and entertainment going on, but we've got a lot of activity and exciting things happening on board a river cruise ship as well too. So we've got cultural dancers and singers who come on board. We might have a culinary demonstration or a wine tasting. We've got a piano player, jazz music playing in the lounge if you want to do a little evening dancing and relaxation time. So lots of different things to keep you entertained on board. And more importantly, some great culturally immersive activities that'll give you a real sense of the destination of the Mekong, Vietnam, and Cambodia, for example. So we also provide Taylormade. This is our self-guiding app. It's really fantastic to use. All you need to do is use our complimentary Wi-Fi to download the app. And once you have it downloaded, you can use it in the cities and not use data from it. It doesn't extract data because everything is preloaded. You just need data to download it. But again, use our complimentary Wi-Fi for that. And then when you're out in the cities, it has all these points of interest already uploaded for you. 700 different talking points full of history, historical facts, architecture, historical figures, political figures. So lots of different information that you can find. And on the map as well, not only does it have the points of interest, but it'll actually show you where the ship is docked. So you can always find your way back over to the Scenic ship. Also, when we're going on our excursions, our guides will be using the Taylormade app for commentary. So what they do is they just plug in a headpiece like I have, and they just open up the app and talk through it, and you listen as well. Now, if you don't have a smartphone, don't worry. We can still provide a device, a listening device for you on board. Most people usually have the smartphone, though, and you just bring your headphones and listen to it throughout the way, and it's really convenient. So we've got the Taylormade app that's complimentary for you to use and enjoy. Ooh, now this is great, folks. Whenever you see Scenic and Rich, this is what I want you to get very excited about, because you know when you see an enriched experience that you're going to leave with a smile on your face. These are unique, culturally immersive experiences. They give you a sense of the antiquities and the flavors of the culture that you're traveling to. If you take a look at the photo I have up on the screen here, this is actually in Siem Reap. We have a temple gala dinner. Underneath the moonlight, you can see the temple lit up by the candles across the whole front area there. We're greeted by Apsara dancers, and we have an evening full of great food, drinks, performances, And just imagine sitting with this temple as your backdrop for the evening. So that's just a quick little sample of some of the experiences that you'll have when you go on Scenic and Rich. So get excited when you see that. Now, like I mentioned before, it's all included. So you have the ability to customize your journey when you're traveling with us. Free choice just means you check off what excursions you want to do. Nothing's out of pocket. So maybe you want to do something a little more active. For example, go on a hike. Or maybe you'd prefer to do that walking tour of downtown. Or maybe you'd rather go on a coach tour. It's totally up for you to decide. We'll give you the list when you're on board for the week's excursions. You just check off what you please. So it's very seamless, efficient, and you get to customize your journey. The picture that you're looking at on the screen here, this is one of our free choice activities to Tan Chau National Park. So if you're into wildlife and learning about the ecosystem, this is a great spot to visit. There's a bird sanctuary here. There's over 800,000 hectares of forest here as well too. So Scenic Free Choice gives you the ability to customize your journey. So Vietnam, Cambodia, the Mekong River, taking the scenic route. Let's go to the onboard experience right now so you can see what it's like to sail on board with us. I'd like to introduce you folks to the Scenic Spirit. She's one of our newer ships. She actually first set sail in 2016, so relatively new. But what's unique to her, and that I think is going to be very important in a post-pandemic world once we resume sailing, is that she only takes 68 guests on board. So talk about an intimate atmosphere. You become friends. You become family with everybody so quickly on board. There's only 34 suites. They all have balconies. And like I said, 68 guests. So really, really intimate, which is fantastic. So many features on board the Spirit as well, too. I'm going to go through these. I know it's a little small. I don't expect you to read the text on the screen here, but I'm going to go through some of these points a little bit more in depth. Just a few things I want to point out. We talked about the multiple dining venues. You can see we've got a vitality pool on board for swimming. I'll show you what that looks like. Take a look at the very front. On the left-hand side, you'll see the Royal Panorama Suites are located strategically at the front. They've got that outdoor balcony terrace. I'll show you what it looks like inside as well, too. So many different points on the Scenic Spirit that I think you're all going to enjoy. Just looking at the technical information here, the deck plan, starting off on the left-hand side, looking at the sun deck going down. If you look at the diamond deck, look at suites 301 and 302 in the blue, the light blue on the right-hand side there. That's the Royal Panorama Suite. So there's only a few select ones. We've got the Grand Deluxe Suite. We've got our Deluxe Suites as well, too. So you'll notice the length is only 279 feet long, 68 guests, 34 cabins, like I mentioned, and 50 crew on board. So what a ratio that is for crew to guests. Let's go inside. So here's the welcome reception area here. You'll notice that it's decorated with unique art. It's in a Southeast Asian decor, very contemporary, comfortable seating throughout here. You'll notice the front desk, somebody will be there 24/7 no matter what. I believe in a post-pandemic world, we'll probably have a contact-free check-in, check-out process moving forward, but stay tuned for more information on that. No matter what, though, somebody will always be stationed at that desk. Let's move over to the other side, the other angle here. You could head up the stairs, go to the suites, or if you want to walk over into the Spirit Lounge, that's easily accessible for you to do. So the Spirit Lounge, ladies and gentlemen, this is the heart of the ship. This is the beating pulse. This is where the evening entertainment will take place. This is where we come together for our debriefings or to learn about health and safety and what activities are coming up on our cruise and our itineraries. You'll notice that the whole facility is fitted with floor-to-ceiling windows, so you can look out and gaze at the beautiful Mekong River. Decorative art, like we talked about, customized chairs that have been designed and tables to fit in the Scenic Spirit Lounge. So great comfortable seating here. Use the Wi-Fi, or maybe you want to come over to the bar. Like I mentioned, we've got those specialty cocktails that you can come try every single day, or get some of your traditional drinks over here. Taking a look at another angle, you can see that we can step outside as well too if you want to go outside. Folks, it gets hot and humid in Vietnam and Cambodia, so you'll want to spend time outside, bring your drink out here, bring your iPad, do a little reading, have a drink, have a snack, and just relax. If you want to go to the library, we do have that available as well too. So for some peace and tranquility, just come over here to relax, read one of our books, and just gaze out. If you're traveling with me, you're probably not going to see me inside, especially if the weather is nice. You'll find me located up here on the sun deck. Take a look at this. There's beautiful flora and fauna. Got the little garden center up here. There's a little track that you can walk around and do laps if you'd like. Comfortable seating as well too. So if you want to relax in one of our sun chairs, take your time, relax, call your butler up here to bring you some snacks and drinks and just take in the beauty. So again, this is where you're probably going to find me if you're ever cruising with me. Now, I'd like to take you to the least populated area on our ship, otherwise known as the gym. Every time I walk by here, I don't see a soul in here, but it is available for you to use. Most people are usually out walking or outside, but there is a weight rack, there's treadmills, there's bikes, there's towels, there's water readily available for you here. So if you'd like to go and do some exercise, it's certainly complimentary and available for you to use. Now remember, folks, I said I would point out the only one extra, and this would be it. So we do have a wellness facility, which massages are available for purchase. This is the only extra on board, okay? So all your excursions, all your food, all your drinks, all your transfers, all your gratuities, everything's included. But if you want to book a massage, that will be out of pocket. So that's the one thing. But it is available for you to use. You can see we've got the nice room. If you want to become one with mind, body, and soul, relax, come get different massages and enjoy that as well. Now, this is my favorite part of the Spirit, is that we actually have a swimming pool on board. And what's more unique about it, it's not just a pool that you can sit in. You can actually swim lengths in here. Like I said, it gets hot and humid. If you look at the temperature today, for example, over in Phnom Penh in Cambodia, you're looking at about 36 degrees Celsius right now. In Saigon, it's maybe about 10 degrees less, 25, 26, so it's hot. Make sure that you take advantage of the swimming pool. I'm always baffled because I find that a lot of people don't take advantage of it. Bring your swimming trunks. You'll notice that there's the open roof over here too, so you get that fresh air coming in. You take a look at the other angle. If you take your eyes over to the right-hand side, you'll notice that the bar is located over there as well. So if you want a snack or a drink or just relax in one of the chairs here, but take a dip, enjoy the weather, and cool off and get some extra exercise in here too. And again, your butler can bring you some drinks and you're all good to go. So let's go inside. Here's one of the examples of our deluxe suites. You'll see the Scenic Sun Lounge over here. So what's unique about these floor-to-ceiling windows is with a push of a button, it magically comes down halfway. So you've got that balcony, that open-air system coming right into your room here. And the Scenic Sun Lounge can be sealed off from the rest of the suite. So once you actually close the door, once you open it, the AC in the room automatically turns off. So we're being environmentally friendly. And once you open it, or once you close it, it'll turn back on. So we're not wasting any air. And you get privacy that way as well too. Somebody could comfortably be reading in the Scenic Lounge and somebody else could be in the bedroom watching television and have total privacy. All suites do come equipped with your luxury bathroom as well too. So you'll notice the shower inside, luxury bath products that are replenished every single day. So no matter what suite you're booked into, you'll have your luxury bathroom. Here's another angle of our deluxe suites over here. So you can see very spacious, floor-to-ceiling windows, a little living room area, your Scenic Sun Lounge, your bedroom. Here's the Royal Panorama Suite. So remember, there's a limited amount of these and they're located at the front. And they're located at the front because you can walk outside and you have your own private balcony and your own private jacuzzi as well too. So how cool is that? Not only do we have the swimming pool, but if you're booked in the Royal Panorama, you can actually go into your own private jacuzzi bathtub. So you've got the living room, you've got your bedroom, you've got the outdoor terrace, and guests who book into the Royal Panorama are given a few extra amenities. For example, multiple laundry service, and you can receive special amenities as far as bringing breakfast to your bedroom and things like that. So take a look in the back of the brochure and you can see what extra features come in the Royal Panorama Suite. Here's also the luxury bathroom in the Royal Panorama Suite. So imagine relaxing in this tub and watching the Mekong go by. Quite beautiful. Here's the Crystal Dining Lounge. We talked a little bit before about the dining experience. So again, you want to immerse yourself in the delicious cuisine that has to be offered over in Southeast Asia. But like I said before, there is a little bit of variety. If you want something a little more Canadianized, that is available for you as well. But please try that food. There's also the River Cafe, which I really like. So the River Cafe is not a sit-down kind of venue. It's more just for getting snacks for the on the go. If you want some bread, cheese, crackers, pastries, cake, things like that. But if we're going out on an excursion, what you can do is you could go to the River Cafe and you could ask them to pack you a little picnic basket of treats to go. So that way, as we're going on tours throughout the day, you don't need to worry about getting hungry. You can just pull out snacks. So the River Cafe is just more for grabbing stuff to go. But if you're not in the mood to go to a sit-down meal, that's totally fine. And sorry, I want to go back just one slide. I forgot to mention, it's an open table seating concept in the Crystal Dining Room, so you can sit anywhere you please. There's no mandatory dress code as well. You can be as casual or as dressed up as you please. That's totally up to you. Just remember, it's your vacation, so you go as comfortable as you desire. So let's keep moving on. Let's get into some of the exciting stuff. I mean, the ship was great, the Scenic Spirit, one of my favorite ships that we offer for the amenities and her size. But let's look at some of the itineraries. This is by far the most popular itinerary, and I'm going to go in a little more in depth on this one. It's called The Essence of Vietnam and Cambodia, the Luxury Mekong. It's 22 days. And why I love this program in particular is because you get to see and do so much. Trust me, folks, if you're going to visit this region once in your lifetime, don't do yourself a disservice. Make sure you're visiting the north and the south as well, too. If you have the time that permits you to do so, make sure that you do it. I don't know how many times you're going to be going back and forth between Vietnam and home. So if you're going once, make sure that you see as much as you can. And this program offers a very comprehensive version of North, Southern Vietnam and into Cambodia as well. So you could do it from Hanoi all the way down to Ho Chi Minh, or you can do it reverse if you'd like as well too. This is a combination of land and cruising. So you'll notice that we've got some hotels set up, some great hotels set up along the way. And then we do our 7 nights on the Scenic Spirit sailing through the Mekong River. But let's start off in Hanoi, one of my favorite cities. And we'll spend a night in Hanoi, and then we'll head over to Ha Long Bay. Now, this is a luxury junk-style boat, so we'll actually spend 2 nights sailing on this, going through the different bays and inlets of Ha Long Bay. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's great. It's unique. And one of our Enrich experiences, so remember I talked about Enrich a little bit earlier, is we have a private dinner on a beach with the sunset as our backdrop and the beautiful mountains in the background. I mean, it's really an unforgettable experience. So a 2-night cruise in Ha Long Bay. By the way, this ship that we'll be sailing on, it's the pinnacle of luxury. It all comes with AC and balcony. I think you'll really enjoy that as well too. So then we head back to Hanoi. This is where you get to explore the bustling markets. We learn about a rich history, a vibrant culture, you learn about the American War, of course. There was the French occupation prior to that when they tried to implement pacification. So lots of history here when it comes to the Ho Chi Minh Trail and the Cu Chi tunnels. But the pristine lakes and gardens are what really get to me. It's beautiful. The French architecture, the bustling markets, the friendly people, great areas for shopping. So you're going to really like the Old Quarter in Hanoi. Now, Hoi An is a big standout as well, too. Another UNESCO World Heritage Site. And this is known because it's a blend of Asian culture. You can find Vietnamese influence, you can find Chinese influence, Japanese influence over here. But we do spend some time in Hoi An. It's a great spot for customized clothing. We do have a little bit of time, and depending what you get, maybe you can get something customized for you. But there's plenty that you can purchase right off the rack as well, too. Great area for shopping. And one of our hotels that we stay in is a beautiful resort and spa. So you're going to really enjoy that as well, too. Heading over, this is the Senna Hotel in Hue, a 5-star beautiful property. If you want to go online, check out some more pictures, look around. Great locations, city centers, easy to get around, and great, wonderful accommodations, as you can see just from the snippet of pictures that I've included here. So going into Cambodia now, this is the biggest highlight, I think, for many people on this itinerary, is going to Siem Reap and learning all about the famous temples. This is Angkor Wat over here, and if the weather permits, we can actually go get up nice and early in the morning and go for a hot air balloon ride. And in fact, this was my colleague who captured the very photo that you're looking at right over here. So there's lots of temples. It's great history. Learn all about the way people lived here. How did they how did they eat, and how did they manage the water systems and sewage and all that. So there's so much to learn, so much to see. It's almost surreal when you walk around through here because it's kind of like a ghost town. Here's the Prom Temple over here as well. So there's a few, I believe 3 different temples that we'll have the opportunity to visit. Then we'll head over to the capital of Cambodia, which is Phnom Penh. This is the royal palace that you see over here. We do have a tuk-tuk ride. So for those of you who want to immerse yourself in the culture, we will do that. Tuk-tuk ride, we will visit a distillery for an after-hours tasting too. And then on a more serious note, there is some historical context learning about the Khmer Rouge and some of the atrocities that they committed at the killing fields and the school, the former school, which is a museum now. It's a moving experience. It's hard to hear, but it is part of their history. You don't have to go to that, obviously, but I would encourage it. It's a lot to take, but it's important. So please definitely keep your eye out for that as well too. Sorry, going back. So then we'll sail from Cambodia, crossing the Mekong River into southern Vietnam. We'll make a few stops along the way before we wrap up over in Ho Chi Minh City, formerly known as Saigon. So yeah, that's the 22-day program, just from a bird's eye view. Now, if you want to learn more details about that, I highly recommend that you talk to your Expedia consultant who can go through the details with you a little bit more, or if you'd like to conference me in on a conversation, we could take that offline as well. Obviously, with just the essence of time, I can only sort of give you the tip of the iceberg here, but please read through the itineraries a little bit more in depth. I'm going to show you a few other options as well, but before I do that, you can do pre and post extensions. So talk to your Expedia consultants about that. If you want to maybe do some pre-nights or some post-nights, we could set that up for you as well. Not an issue. But now I'd like to show you just a couple of other itineraries. So maybe the 22 days is a little bit too long for you, and time doesn't allow for that. If you want to do something a little bit shorter, here's the Treasures of the Mekong. It's a 13-day program, and you can see it's more focused here on southern Vietnam and obviously going into Cambodia. So we've got the 3 nights in Siem Reap, 2 nights in Ho Chi Minh, and our 7 nights on the Scenic Spirit sailing down the Mekong. Now, here's one I really like, the journeys. It's pretty much the itinerary that we just looked at, but in addition, you can see we make a few stops in Laos as well too, and then we also have Bangkok. So remember, when I talked about having those pre and post extensions, this would be perfect to do in Bangkok. You're not just going to want to fly in and out. Make sure that you're spending a couple of nights over there in Thailand and enjoy that extra time. So that's the 18-day. Here's a very comprehensive one, so even more so than what I just showed you with the 22-day, but here's the grand Indochina and luxury of Mekong River cruising. So this encompasses everything I just showed you: northern Vietnam, southern Vietnam, Hoi An, Siem Reap, Laos, and then ending over in Bangkok. So just depending on what you like, folks, depending what you want to see and how long you want to go for, there's a variety of itineraries that can suit your needs. There's more that I'm not showing you as well too, so please talk to your Expedia consultant, go through the different programs and see which one strikes your fancy. So let's get into the special offers as well too. I'm still doing okay on time, so great. Yeah, the super early bird special. So the Legendary River is actually originally expired at the end of April, but we went ahead and we've extended it until May 14th. And there's 2 offers that you see on the screen here, which I will explain, starting off on the left-hand column with the super early bird special. So if you're looking to book 2022, 2023 Southeast Asia River Cruise, and if you're willing to put down payment 12 months in advance, we can offer you an additional 10% discount on your cruise fare. But keep in mind, folks, it is limited to the Diamond and Sapphire deck suites, so it is based on that availability, and receive an extra 10% discount as long as you're willing to pay a full 12 months in advance. Some other offers that are included here on cruises that are 12 days and longer, you can fly premium economy for $495 or fly free in economy class. Fantastic offer right there. We also included free door-to-door chauffeur transfers from your house to your airport as long as you fall within the proper radius, and I believe that's 45 kilometers from your gateway. On cruises that are 11 days and shorter, you can receive savings of $12.50 per couple, and also still receive your door-to-door chauffeur transfers. I'm going to talk about the booking with confidence in just one slide, so don't worry about that. But folks, we understand that it might not be easy for you to put down full payment 12 months in advance. And with the uncertainty of everything going on, it's totally understandable. You can still take a look at the early bird special. So really, it's the same offer in place minus the full payment in advance, and you would just get rid of that extra 10% savings. So if you don't want to put the money down in advance, that's totally okay. Go with the early bird special. Still get some great offers in there as well too. So consult your Expedia consultant and let them know what date and itinerary that you're looking at, and they can put together a quote for you. Now, booking with confidence. So if you see back at the bottom of the screen here on the offer sheet, you'll see book with confidence. So that's what I'm going to get into right now. We have reduced our deposits from $500 per person to $250 per person. Okay, so that's been reduced. And also, if you take a look on the left-hand column, cruising with confidence, super early bird and early bird bookings include our flexible booking policy. So for 2022 new Asia river cruisings, you can defer your travel plans by transferring to an alternate departure date or itinerary 60 days prior to your cruise commencing without any scenic fees. So if there's third-party fees like a hotel or an airline that's not within our control, we can't control that. So there might be charges. But up to 60 days prior, you can move your cruise at no penalty from Scenic. We've also included complimentary deposit protection. Normally, this is valued at $125 per person, but we have included it complimentary. And what it allows you to do is prior to your final payment, you can cancel your departure, and we will move your funds into a future travel credit that's valid for 24 months. Third-party fees might apply to this as well too, but there won't be any Scenic fees at all. Okay, so complimentary deposit protection, something that we've included for you. And lastly, brand new to Scenic is our Platinum Protection Plan. Something that we heard from our guests was that they didn't want to put down money in these uncertain times and worry about that money being tied up as a future travel credit if the cruise is suspended for COVID. So introducing the Platinum Protection Plan, you can purchase this on new cruises. This needs to be purchased at the time of booking. It cannot be added retroactively, but for $395 per person by adding the Platinum Protection Plan, you can cancel your cruise for health reasons, or if your travel plans are impacted by COVID-19, I repeat, if your travel plans are impacted by COVID-19 and you cancel up to 31 days prior to departure, you will receive 100% cash back refund, minus any third-party fees and, of course, the cost of the Platinum Protection Plan. If you were to cancel between 15 and 30 days before departure, you will receive a 70% refund, again, minus the cost of third-party fees and the Platinum Protection Plan. Folks, the most important thing I can say here is that this is not a substitute for travel insurance by any means. This doesn't give you medical coverage or trip interruption. This just really gives you the ability to get a cash refund when you're booking with Scenic. So please read through the terms and conditions, go through it thoroughly, talk to your Expedia consultant, read through it. If you want me to come on a phone call with you, I'll go through it with you as well too. But this is great because now it gives you the ability to get a cashback refund instead of having money tied up in a future travel credit. So folks, that brings me to the conclusion of my presentation today. And yeah, it's just about 40 minutes, so that's perfect. I thank you so much for taking the time to join me this evening. If you haven't sailed on Scenic before, you need to try it once, because once you try it, you will be hooked for life. And it's tough to experience other cruise lines after experiencing Scenic. So just try it for once and you'll really enjoy it. As I mentioned, we do have the Legendary Rivers offer available on Southeast Asia 2022 Mekong River Cruises up until May 14th. So please talk to your Expedia consultant to get that booked. And excuse me, I'm happy to field any questions if there are, or I'll pass it back over to the folks at Expedia here, and they can wrap up everything. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Jared. Fabulous, fabulous presentation. I was in Vietnam, Cambodia a few years ago, and it is an amazing, amazing destination. So thank you for bringing back some memories to me. If you have any questions, please type them into the chat box. Just a couple of comments. Great photo, great presentation. So
Thank you, folks.
I think we'll just wait another minute or two in terms of that. Right. Say thank you to everybody for joining us. And remember that, you know, travel will begin again. And I think all of us are missing it. We've lost vacations in 2020. We've lost vacations for 2021. We got 2 years worth of vacations to make up for. And you know what? Travel fulfills us. Travel is something that we all love. So we can start thinking about the future, 2022, 2023. Thank you, Jared, for sharing with us the flexible booking policies. So I think that we can look at booking confidently without having to risk any investment, which I think makes us all feel very, very good about that. So it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So I thank you, all of us, for joining us. We thank you for your past travels. We thank you for your future bookings with us. We will continue next Thursday night with our travel talks. And next Thursday, we're going to be featuring Princess Cruises and longer voyages. So thank you for joining us tonight. Please contact us. Let us help you make your dream vacations come true for 2022. 2023. You can also follow us on Facebook, and this and all other recordings that we do are going to be on our YouTube channel, so feel free to visit that as well. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you again, folks. Have a good night.